Hello, and welcome to the second season of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel. Over the course of this season, we will discuss what makes a hotel sustainable and how your hotel can communicate its sustainability initiatives in a sustainable way. So let's get started. I'm your podcast host, Natasha Rupp from Rupp Public Relations, and my co host here is Magdalena Rungalier from Map Boutique Consultancy, which is a B Corp certified company, and they put sustainable hotels on a global map. Welcome back to the second season of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel. Today, Magdalena and I will be starting to talk about what a sustainable hotel is before we get into communication in future episodes. And why is that? Because sustainability communication must follow action. In other words, your hotel needs to be taking action to become a sustainable one before you can even start communicating about sustainability. So let's set the groundwork on what makes a hotel sustainable. In this episode, we're going to touch upon two important terms: greenwashing and greenhushing. Define a sustainable hotel, and afterwards, Magdalena will present us with the hotel sustainability framework Map Boutique Consultancy has developed from years of empowering and supporting hoteliers on their sustainability journey. By the end of this episode, you'll know what makes a hotel a truly sustainable hotel, setting the foundation for our future episodes. Onwards.
Already mentioned such an important statement. Sustainability communication must follow action. Years ago, when we started developing the sustainability platform, The Sustainable Hotel, and writing handbooks for hoteliers and entrepreneurs, we did a survey amongst our hotel network about the main challenges they faced when it came to sustainability. And interestingly to us, communicating sustainability in a credible and authentic way was one of the biggest challenges among the survey respondents, with greenwashing identified as one of the biggest fears. So, what's greenwashing? I mean, when you put more effort into communicating sustainability than in actually implementing sustainability initiatives, greenwashing. It is when a company purports to be environmentally conscious for marketing purposes, but isn't making any notable sustainability efforts. And I mean, Natasha, we have discussed it so many times. We see right now out there such a lot of greenwashing, so that we understand as well that hoteliers struggle with it. And I mean, in the last and first episode that we did together, we summarized the benefits of effective sustainability communication, like attracting more guests, gaining recognition, earning more profit. And so, I mean, the benefits are huge. And all companies want to take advantage, right? For some, even if that means they're not being quite truthful about what's happening behind the scenes when it comes to sustainability. Greenwashing erodes faith on the part of guests, it affects businesses' reputation, and it takes away from the good work being done out there. You, our dear listeners, you don't want your hotel to be perceived as a greenwasher. In fact, the fear of greenwashing is so huge that many have decided to abstain from communicating their sustainability initiatives at all. And that's termed as greenhushing, the deliberate concealment of information regarding the sustainability practices applied for fear of being labeled a greenwasher. Have you come across greenwashing or greenhushing recently, Natasha?
Always in day-to-day business, just like you, I also deal with this. And there are so many examples out there in forms of literal greenwashing. So hotels showering lobbies with green plants and throwing around the term eco-friendly in their communications
Yeah.
material, to asking hotel guests to hang their towels to avoid an extra round of laundry. That's a nice little gesture, but at the end of the day, that isn't going to save the world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, true.
So these are like great little add-ons to have and should just be standard at this point from our perspective, but these practices do not qualify as real sustainable practices. And as I understand that hotels I mean, I understand that hotels have to start somewhere, and they would prefer not to talk about sustainability at all in order to avoid being labeled as greenwashers. So, however, if hotels do these smaller things and do not label them as changing the world, it's fine and it's not greenwashing. It's rather another step in the right direction. I also still feel like a lot of hotels avoid A, doing sustainability reports, and B, sharing those reports in an easy to find location, example on your website. I personally think it's an absolute shame that the word greenhushing came about and that there is a fear linked to having an open dialogue and criticism around potentially greenwashing. I'd much rather we educate each other across the industry to keep sharing everything and to call out clear cases of greenwashing in a constructive manner rather than sweeping the entire sustainability conversation under a rug, which I feel
Yeah.
is the counterpart that's happening. So yeah, this underlines why it's so important to really practice what you preach, to put in the real work when it comes to sustainability and not just say you are doing the work, but actually doing it, and to have a real sustainable hotel that way. So, what is a sustainable hotel? Let's define it. A sustainable hotel is a hotel that strives to promote sustainable development through its business practices. While many use it interchangeably with the term green hotel, a sustainable hotel takes on a more holistic approach to sustainability, addressing its three core pillars: social sustainability, environmental sustainability, and economic sustainability. This brings us to MAP sustainability framework. Could you please elaborate a little on that?
Yes, Natasha, thank you. And I mean, after years of developing sustainable hotels, we at MAP created a sustainability framework for hotels. And we even add another P. We call it 4 Ps of sustainability. And the 4 Ps are purpose, people, planet, profit. As you mentioned, it reflects the 3 pillars of sustainability that you just touched: social sustainability, aka people; environmental sustainability, aka planet; economic sustainability, aka profit. But as you've noticed, there's one more P: purpose. From our experience, all sustainable hotels have to have a purpose. And why is that? First, sustainability is a complex field. I totally believe that it doesn't have to be complicated, as we see it sometimes now sold out there, but it's complex. In the handbooks we have developed for the sustainable hotel, we have identified around 400 to 500 action steps that hotels can take now to become more sustainable in each area, or P of sustainability. Now, this leads to confusion and one big question: where do I start? Our answer: start with purpose. Once you know what you are here to achieve, what's important to you, what's your intrinsic motivation, I mean, you have a compass, a guiding North Star, and everything else becomes much easier and clearer on your sustainability journey. The second element to purpose is what we are going to elaborate further in the coming episodes. I mean, your purpose is a central part of your sustainability communication. Why are you doing what you do? Why are you implementing these initiatives? When you have your purpose defined, you have a clear starting point and a compelling story to tell that resonates with your stakeholders. Companies with a strong purpose create a culture of innovation to achieve that purpose, attract guests, employees, partners, and more who connect with that purpose. They build resilience because they are better able to bounce back from challenges when there's a bigger purpose they're after. And of course, they bring a greater sense of personal satisfaction for owners and employees alike. The fact of the matter is, purposeful companies do it better. At least in my opinion. I don't know, Natasha.
You know,
What?
I agree with you. So, one of the best examples of a company that does purpose very well and lives its purpose is Patagonia. So, I think we all know Patagonia. Their purpose is in business to save our home planet. That's their claim. They make outdoor apparel and they do it very well. So, they aim to make the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to protect nature, and aim to not be bound by convention. The company's profits are used to protect the planet as opposed to enriching shareholders. They offer a repair and reuse program for their products so that these get the longest possible life cycle for consumers. In terms of communication, there's so much that they are doing right. But one
Yeah.
thing that really stands out to me is their honesty. They're very transparent. They've showcased this in a campaign where the brand used photos of everyday people, both men and women, doing real things while wearing their very own Patagonia clothing. So it's just very authentic and away
Yeah.
from any sort of photoshopping. So, as mentioned before, they also have a repair and reuse program, which includes repair guides to empower consumers to do it yourself, which is a great route. And this can be found on their website. The customer communication is just really transparent and clear here, and they're enabling their customers, kind of like hotels could be enabling their guests. So, in
And
terms of yeah,
Natasha, what I love personally about Patagonia, that they also take sometimes decisions that are against their profit.
yeah,
Just to build on their credibility and to say that's our purpose. Yes, it might not be the best decision right now in regards to our profit,
yeah,
but in the long term, we are achieving our purpose. And I think
100%.
that's amazing.
Yeah, very inspirational. So, how do hotels find their purpose, Lena?
Yeah. I mean, we talk about sustainability, so we have to be transparent and honest. And what we see is that it's not always as easy as it sounds. Because here, you as a business owner, as a company owner, as a hotel owner, should also do some internal reflection and ideally also bring on your trusted team. Ask, for example, what is the one thing that you and your team really want to achieve, change, or serve? What's the reason for the existence for your hotel? And I mean, it's not profit. If nowadays in 2023 all of our businesses only would exist for profit, then we are just on the wrong route. So we know that questions to find your purpose, they can be hard questions. So therefore we recommend flipping it on its head and asking yourself, if I were a superwoman or a superman, what are the evils I'd rid the world of? Identify what those are, and it should give clarity as to what your main motivator is. And for example, as Natasha, you mentioned Patagonia before. Patagonia is clearly against the destruction of our planet and mass consumerism. That's very clear, and everything they're doing is like working towards achieving their purpose. And the founder also clearly stated once the purpose is achieved, the company is not anymore used. They have achieved their purpose to go. So, but of course, once you know what you're going to do as a superwoman or man, don't stop there. Once you know your purpose, write it down in a formal purpose statement and embed it into your operation. It's important to build it into your internal processes and procedures so your employees support in pursuing that purpose. Not only that, let it be your compass on your sustainability journey. Let it prioritize your sustainability activities and which P of the sustainability framework you pursue first.
Speaking of the P's, can you dive a little deeper into the other P's of sustainability, Lena?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, let's start with people. After all, hotels are a people business from people for people. People is social sustainability. And in our discussion, and generally, it says the impact your hotel has on people, including your guests, employees, partners, and local community members. At the cornerstone of social sustainability is protecting human rights, addressing issues that affect your people, and uplifting and empowering them. We always say you have to know who your stakeholders are and what they want or need from your hotel to achieve social sustainability. Second, we have planet, environmental sustainability. Here we talk about the impact your hotel has on the planet, ensuring that you protect the world's ecosystems and conserve natural resources for the health and well being of all, now and in the future. Elements we address here are, for example, energy waste and food waste, water, building and design. Last P, profit, economic sustainability. One I personally feel, I don't know how you see it, Natasha, that is often overlooked
Mm,
in hospitality, but also general. And the profit part measures the impact your hotel has on economic growth without negatively impacting the social and environmental aspects of the community, while profitability for your hotel. Elements that we address here is reinvesting in your people, philanthropic giving, and also some of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Now, as I mentioned before, there are 400 action steps your hotel can take to achieve sustainability in these different areas. From how to minimize food waste, attract diverse talent, donate time and resources to purpose aligned causes, to how to lower your carbon footprint, create sustainable partnerships that drive economic opportunity within your local community. Community, you see, I'm already stumbling by thinking at everything you can do at your hotel. And I mean, therefore, we have created this entire collection of handbooks. We are working on this handbook together, um, where we can introduce you into purpose, people, planet, and profit in detail, and give you as well this practical advice that you need. Now, for us, and also in the communication handbook, it's all about best practices, examples, helpful tips, so that you are not getting lost along the way. And I'm just repeating it again. Start with purpose. That's like when you see what you can do in your hotel. That's like the first and most important step.
for sure. Yeah. You mentioned the different handbooks that you have as resources, and they provide a very big value for hotels that want to become sustainable and become certified as well. So, like we said, communication follows action. And if you aren't yet taking action in these different areas to become more sustainable, then the handbook collection is a great place for you to start. In the show notes, you'll find a link where you can download a preview of the Sustainable Hotel Collection, and it'll give you a glimpse into the insights packed into these four handbooks.
Before you tackle these handbooks and execute the sustainability initiatives in there, it's important to know where your hotel stands when it comes to sustainability, what its sustainability status quo is, in order, of course, to help you track and measure your progress. For that reason, we also developed a free online assessment to measure how sustainable your hotel is now. So, therefore, once you go through this short quiz, the points are added up and you've given a score between 0 to 100. You end up in one of four categories. Maybe you're an ambitious rookie, you're an avid adventurer, maybe you're already an expert explorer, or a peak performer. So, as a result, you see where you currently stand and know what you need to do to reach the next level. And you can continue taking this assessment throughout your sustainability journey to see your development. And of course, we have also linked this free and fun assessment in the show notes.
With that, let's wrap up this episode with the main learnings. Sustainability communication must follow action. In other words, you have to have a sustainable hotel or be on the sustainability journey in order to communicate sustainability. Otherwise, you're simply greenwashing. Speaking of greenwashing is when a company claims to be environmentally conscious for marketing purposes, but isn't actually making any notable sustainability efforts. On the other side of that is greenhushing, which is the deliberate concealment of information regarding sustainability practices applied. And they do this for the fear of being labeled a greenwasher. MAP has created a framework for hotels to become sustainable hotels, titled The Four Ps of Sustainability: Purpose, People, Planet, and Profit. And our last learning: when embarking on your sustainability journey, it's important to start with purpose and know your hotel's sustainability status quo.
Amazing, Natasha. I've tremendously enjoyed this conversation. And To all of our listeners, it's time to say bye bye. Stay tuned for more. Please do subscribe to your favorite podcast channel to get notified when the next episode goes on the line. Because in the next episode, we talk about sustainable communication, as in how you communicate your sustainability efforts. Thank you for joining us on the journey to build a more hospitable and purposeful planet together. Onwards.
Onwards. The second season of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel, is all about sustainability and hospitality and how you realize more success by communicating your hotel's sustainability initiatives in a sustainable way. Visit thesustainablehotel.com to discover free tools, guides, templates, resources, and much more to guide your hotel in implementing sustainability in a holistic and impactful way.